exciting episode of Black Beat Podcast where we take an unapologetic approach to issues that are concerned in the black community. And today I am excited about my executive producer being on the show, Miss Fawn Aberson.
Thank you, thank you.
And we got an exciting lineup for you this week, so you guys need to keep paying attention to where we're going. But so, Ms. Aberson, who's our exciting guest about this topic around AI this last quarter here? I mean, I hear we're gearing up for this exciting book around technology.
Yeah. So we're putting together our latest issue of Flossin magazine, and the theme is technology. We call it technology, okay? And so, of course, we can't have a technology issue without talking about artificial intelligence.
AI.
It's the it girl or guy
elephant in the living room
of the
these
moment.
days.
Right.
Conversation. Everybody's looking for that boogeyman to come.
Right. And so today we're lucky to have a special guest joining us. His name is Kristen Bainey.
All the way from Canada.
Yeah, all the way from Canada. He's the author of AI Driven Project Management, Harnessing the Power of Artificial Intelligence and ChatGPT to Achieve Peak Productivity and Success.
Welcome, Kristen. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Christian's expertise lies in leveraging AI technologies to streamline project management process. So we're thrilled to have him on the show today.
Welcome, Kristen. We appreciate you taking a minute out of your busy day to come in and join us.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited about this. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, I'll tell you, Kristen, tell us a little bit about your background and how'd you arrive to the place in which you are right now? Give us a little bit of your background around AI-driven project management.
And what inspired you to write the book?
And what inspired you, yeah.
Sure, I get that question a lot. Actually, I've been in technology for over 15 years, and when I went to school, I started programming and then business analysis and project management and IT management and all that to like grow the ladder in information technology. And I've always been intrigued in innovation. And of course, obviously, artificial intelligence has been out there since like the 1950s, but people are now getting into it because what they think that artificial intelligence is actually a generative AI, where the public is actually wanting to know more about. For example, you heard like the Beatles are coming out with a new song.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't agree with that. I mean, like, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. I don't think I'd like to hear Michael Jackson speak again. I mean, like, to sing again unless it's actually him.
Yeah, me too. It'd be a little bit scary to hear him from wherever he's singing from to bring it back here, right?
So, one thing that's generative AI is, what I find intriguing is that artificial intelligence is nothing but a powerhouse tool that makes humans make better data-driven decisions, okay? That's all it is, and it reads algorithms. And so what the world went crazy over is ChatGPT November 30th, 2022, when this product came out there, used the world as their test subjects to train their, is producing new information, it's producing new content which is textual, new audio, which is like I was saying with the Beatles, and new imagery, and eventually new video. I mean, it's doing video right now, but it's kind of the main concept where AI will be going even further, or generative AI will be going further, is doing videos through films, what you call prompt engineering. So this whole innovation is that I call it like a tsunami, where it's going to hit you, a wave is going to hit you no matter what. AI is going to come no matter where you are in the world, and it's going to hit you, and the only thing you can do is adapt to it and prepare for it. And do you think a tsunami comes in one wave? No, it comes in many. So There's going to be another wave and another wave and another wave. So it's going to be out there, it's going to be out there coming back even stronger. So the more you adapt to it today in your profession, whether it's business analysis, IT, accounting, lawyers, anything like that, the better that you would be situated yourself for the future for your career.
Neat.
Tired of high gas prices? Save money on your transportation costs with TriMet's reduced fare transit card. If you meet income requirements, you can get your first month free while you enjoy unlimited rides on buses and trains anywhere TriMet goes. That's 1 month free, a $28 value when you sign up today for TriMet's reduced fare card. We'll help you travel smarter and make your money go further no matter what the price is at the pump. Visit TriMet.org/save to learn more and apply today. That's TriMet.org/save. TriMet. How life moves.
Okay, so the wave is coming, John.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that your community is ready for it? What do you
No,
think?
and that was you took the words right out of my mouth to a bigger degree. Kristen, how vulnerable? Let me prepare a scenario. When we look at the demographic that we have, like say here in Portland, around the African American community, we got less than 60% on PCs these days, right? And that generation that we have a large demographic that's over 55, and I remember when computers and all that just came out, the telephone, all of that. So I've had the opportunity to have one of the most interesting front row seats of the most technological time of the human experience. But I'm still finding that my demographic is still having a little bit of times getting up on the PC. How do you see this AI sort of affecting, or how do you see it really landing with the demographics that are just not involved with it at this point in time? What do you see as an impact?
Well, it's a huge impact for Generation Y and like the baby boomers and whatnot like that. But artificial intelligence is really going to take off for the next generation. To be honest, it's the next generation that we're preparing for, which is a good thing because we kind of like the world kind of have a strategy over it. Today, if you look at people like your kids or your niece or nephew, people under the age of 15 years old, right? What do? Do they ever answer their phone? Do they ever call somebody? No, it's all text, right?
Right.
That's just the way life is today. And it's not so much in artificial intelligence, but it's more technology innovation. So AI definitely is innovation, but how we can adapt it to the future is from regulations from your government. Now, like you say, 60% of people are not using the PC and whatever that.
No, there's 60% on it, but we got like 30%, 35% of the people, the demographic, still not on using PCs.
And that's okay because the thing is though, when you have tablets and when you have mobile device, that still is a computer, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily a PC or a desktop.
Right. They definitely have the cell phones.
Right.
How you can navigate through that, the knowledge has been out there since young people, like in the age of like 5 to like 15, understand how to navigate besides when we were like 5 or 10 years old. So we have different demographics of how you're going to utilize innovation, but if you narrow it down to certain technology devices like the tablet or your mobile, it will be different in how you use like a desktop computer that's been plugged in, like how we know how it goes, right? Mm-hmm. So the thing is though to understand is that they're all based on computers. Computers are based on binary and algorithms. Right. Algorithms make up what you call machine learning. Machine learning is part of artificial intelligence. Now, what we're seeing today is what you call deep learning, which is taking machine learning and making predictive analytics out of it. So you can't necessarily do that with a mobile or tablet or computer, but you can do it if you install a certain product or application, say like ChatGPT or Visual Studio or some type of programming language, and that's when you would need a PC. So I'm not saying that you need to have it as a tool to be on the trend or train of AI. No, what you need to know is that there's a back-end way to utilize AI, and PCs in the workforce is probably the better way to go, or they won't be using their mobile devices or tablets. So in the workforce, the PC is definitely number one tool to use. in general, when people are using social media and using all these applications to change your voice and make songs and use ChatGPT, you're producing AI, but you're not really using it. You're utilizing the application that can do it. In a profession, when you have a career like accounting or IT or finance or whatnot, you definitely need to have some type of PC and some type of platform to really understand and to make your outcome better decision using a certain application like the Visual Studio Code, or maybe going a little bit technical, or actual ChatGPT, what you call OpenAI models.
Yeah. So Christian, you mentioned earlier that you're a professor, right? Where you
So I do teach at a university in Edmonton, Alberta.
So is this a subject you're teaching right now?
It's funny though, it's actually not, but so I teach technical development, project management, and stakeholder management. I don't teach it yet because, to be honest, it hasn't been released yet. There's only a few institutions actually in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, that have this course. Now there should be more. Now in Ontario, there's quite a few, and I believe in BC as well too. But it's coming out, but it's definitely on demand, but it's not there yet. But it will be. I think what's happening right now is that, for example, I'm the president of Northern Alberta for the PMI Association, and I'm also connected very well with the PMI Global, and so I help them contribute to their AI courses and knowledge. So what we're trying to do is actually make a strategy so other people will know that this is something that should be in the education curriculum.
Yeah.
And I think people are working on it right now. But they can't just produce it right now. They have to look at complications, the risks, the biasness, right? The unfairness, whether it's male dominant or women dominant,
Interesting.
or dominant or whatnot, right? I mean, different countries will have different regulations and rules. Like I'm Trinidadian, I went to Trinidad and presented for the Island Summit, and that was great. And I've seen technology out there with VR, with selling houses and real estate.
Oh yeah, VR selling houses. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Caribbean, right? And
Yeah.
Canada's in North America. I've traveled all through North America, and I just think it's the greatest thing that other countries like the Philippines, Australia, and Trinidad and Tobago, of course, have adapted to these new technologies to enhance the profit of sales through innovation and
Oh,
technology.
for sure.
People could just wear like a
Yeah. You can just sip a cocktail in your armchair.
no.
Look at 15 houses.
If you're a gardener, you go into your house, you would see what time of day the light hits your house and when the sunshine is lighting.
Oh,
At nighttime, when the moonlight's lighting, and to see if your garden will actually grow.
oh,
And
neat.
to see if your kids will be awake during traffic time. It tells you all of that kind of stuff, which is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And that's what happens in different parts of the world. So even for artificial intelligence is very prominent in like Australia, China, India, California, Ontario. There's other places out there that people are not aware of. Like when I went to Trinidad and Tobago, and I couldn't, well, it's because I'm biased to it, but I was there and I was just amazed at the technology and how they're advancing the country on innovation that maybe other countries are not even considered it yet. But the first thing you need to do is definitely be ethical and come up with a strategy and have artificial intelligence should always use, always use the content of society and culture. It should never be siloed.
Gotcha.
And that's how you make artificial intelligence to be ethical by doing so. And a lot of people don't, and they should be doing that. And another thing is that artificial intelligence has been out there for a long time. And people should realize that it's been out there for a long time, but what we're talking about is generating new predictive analytics in the future, ever. If you use artificial intelligence for the purpose of the machine making a decision for you, you should not be using it.
Wow.
That is not the purpose of artificial intelligence. The
Yeah.
purpose of artificial intelligence is to give you options and information so the human being can make the decision at the end of the day so they have time to focus on more important high priority tasks.
You know, Christian, I really appreciate you bringing that narrative to it because as I was sitting here listening to you talk, I'm constantly looking, and everybody else is looking for what's the elephant in the living room behind this thing, right? This AI. And then is it going to take our jobs? Is it going to somehow or another lead us into self destruction? All those things. And so, just so that I think I got some basic grasp on the insight is what the intent of this thing is that it's to assist man, right? But isn't the next step of this AI though is feeding enough content into it for it to make decisions also? So is it the is the long term goal for this AI to be a decision maker?
ChatGPT and all these trained bots really do that. They can make a decision for you. Now, the person using AI should have some type of knowledge what they're trying to do. So if you're in a department of finance or your department of HR, the department of IT, that person using it for their organization should have some type of knowledge already. And if you don't, then you're probably not the best user. Now, there's a thing that's called prompt engineering to make the outcome the way that you want it. There's something called garbage in, garbage out. If you get garbage in, you will get garbage out.
Yeah, I heard that.
So the way that you make it better is in having a knowledgeable person with wisdom and knowledge prompt it correctly. Then the person will probably have to take a little course in prompt engineering. My book is all about that as well too, specifically project management. But it's different for different industries. Prompt engineering is different for accounting, for law, for medicine, for project management. It's for coders. It's different. We won't focus on specifically project management, but it actually is a pretty good framework just in general to use. But you can read about that later. Again, at the end of the day, it's people that have to make the decision at the end of the day. And if you are not doing that, you're not utilizing artificial intelligence for the best use. You can ask ChatGPT to give you recommended solutions, and you as a human have to revise it, look at it, analyze it, and critique it as a human to make the better decision. If you have something that this does that for you, then there would be no jobs out there. Now, will jobs be taken away? Yes, it will. You know, analyst jobs will be taken away, a lot of them, because of what ChatGPT can do by asking it to do a diagram and all that kind of stuff. But however, it's a good thing. You know why it's a good thing? Because people are forced to utilize the skills, to utilize their skills and to acknowledge what the world is producing and to upgrade their skills in artificial intelligence. So what that means is some positions will be eliminated. What do you think that means? That means that other positions will be open. Not other positions, more positions, I should say. More positions will be open in that same role. Position that's somebody like an analyst. There will be a new position opening saying the same type of job as somebody that knows prompt engineering, somebody that knows a little bit more about how to manipulate a GPT or artificial intelligence program to produce the outcome that they want based on our business objectives, right? So basically knowing AI. So there will be more roles, but the old roles will be eliminated, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all the rules were. There will be newer rules coming out. And that's what it is. It's not eliminating people's jobs, it's actually giving you the opportunity to advance with newer positions that will be evolving in the world today.
Got you. So you saying what I'm hearing you say that AI is more of a supportive cast than one that takes the front and the lead. And is that accurate about what I'm hearing you say is that AI should be used in that capacity instead of running out in front of us?
Right. And what people have to remember what AI is everybody thinks AI, is automation. That's absolutely incorrect. It's not also about automation. Now, is automation. Automation being like sending an email, having some tool hear your voice and produce text or whatever. So basically, it's a human pressing a button. That's automation. It's human pressing a button and doing it. What we're going to do for generative AI, like project managers or managers or lawyers or healthcare, construction, what you want to know is that the term is augmentation. It's not automation. It's what we want the world to know is about augmentation. Now, augmentation is adapting human interface, human intelligence, behavioral science, person making the decision at the end of the day by utilizing machine learning to make it more efficient. So when I do project management and I do accounting or healthcare, let's look at it this way. Where could be in the world, there is statistically proven that doctors make mistakes, like say in cardiology, because they didn't pinpoint where the artery would rupture, right? Or the heart was was beating too fast or something like that. And they have patients because of their negligence. Now, 100%, that level has gone down from 20% to like 5% today. Why? Because of imagery. Imagery making that artificial intelligence to look at something and say, hey, did you miss this? Did you know about this? And the doctor can make the decision, remember? Make the decision, say, you know, I did miss that. I didn't think about that.
Nice.
So it gives you the actions and information where the doctor can now save people's lives that have went down from 20% to 5%, hypothetically speaking.
Gotcha.
And I do know that it happens in hospitals around the and that is what making it the biggest difference is in healthcare and in education. Education has to evolve with the curriculum for the new age to go into new criteria for how they're going to be learning and whatnot. But that's just a way. So augmentation again is human beings, human behavioral science, cognitive thinking, adapting, working with what you call human in the loop. It's an actual term, AI, and it's working with the machine to make a better decision, where the human will always make that decision. Just like when there's an image of an echocardiogram, the freaking same.
Yeah, I really like how he's framing this on this view of it, because it sort of takes the fear out of it a little bit. I mean, but you go ahead. I mean, because really, I do appreciate, Kristen, the way you laying this out, because I mean, if, you know, that with the buzz going around here is that, you know, Mayday, Mayday, AI is coming, the boogeyman's in the house, you know, that kind of thing, and
But you know what? I'm seeing it get more, at least in the professional world. I'm seeing more and more people use it. I still think, like so many things, you know, first it's first when some change, right? It's violently opposed, then
vehemently opposed,
or
yeah,
vehemently denied, violently opposed, and then accepted as truth, right? So there's with AI, what we get, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of it's Chat GPT. So what does Chat GPT stand for, and how would you recommend people begin their journey with it? And is Chat GPT the only platform for AI, or are there others?
Yeah, okay, so ChatGPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So what it is, like I said before, AI back in the day was decision making, right? You can analyze a lot of data to make information to understand, and the human will make a predictive analysis out of it. So now we have generative AI that kind of does that for us, that makes a outcome, a new content of audio or video or textual information that will recommend things, and then we just make a decision out of it. Now, the ChatGPT is a large language model. It is made up of amount of data that a human can never ever comprehend. Now, I have a good grasp on it, and other people have a way better grasp on it themselves, data scientists, but you have to know that so ChatGPT was like invented from OpenAI. And Microsoft merged with them, paid them $10 billion for investment. So they're basically like kind of the same company, and they use kind of the same platforms. And that's great. And they're the best ones out there. In my opinion, hands down the best. Because of the security of Microsoft, the involvement with OpenAI, Microsoft itself, right? I mean, there was a huge YouTube video on it the other day, which was excellent to watch. It's Bill Gates and Sam Altman. He specifically understands how ChatGPT works, and I'll tell you why. You understand how the data goes in, and how, I'm not going too technical, on how the data comes out. It comes out from natural language processing, where algorithms put into numerical values and formulas through machine learning that will produce through embedding or outbedding, where something called an NLP, natural language process, will make it into what a human can understand. Okay, so it goes into the machine, all the numbers and all that kind of stuff. Machine understands it, and then when it comes out through what you call through a large language model like ChatGPT, and it does a contextual translation, right?
Yeah. You know, let me ask you this question, Doug. When the emojis on Apple products, right, came out, and these emojis didn't have certain aspects to them, and then had to go back into the hopper again, and they had to add some newer stuff and stuff like that. Is there a similar pattern potential for AI? Is that the input in which comes from a specific demographic or a specific strategic location, the input goes in, and then an AI begins to make these decisions? Are you saying that the bigger the box, the more capacity the box can hold from multi dimensions that goes into that box is what will make AI a quantitative or a qualifiable reality? It doesn't have to go back into the same relationship or same hopper situation as, say, the emojis. Are we approaching AI in that kind of capacity, or are we saying the inventor has control over AI?
The inventor has control over AI. It's the prompt engineer really that has it. Not only that, they do. So when you said, like, there's a lot of dimensions or whatever, what I said to information, it's just too big. ChatGPT is too big.
Too big.
The future of AI wants to do for organizations, and they're working on it right now, is making smaller kind of ChatGPTs. You know how I say the word large language model because it's extremely large. If they have smaller ones for specific organizations or specific
Industries, yeah.
that would be, I mean, I'm not talking about cost efficiency, but that's something different. But that would be actually more reliable than something huge. Because you can think of it this way: you have it's not a database, but we'll call that a repository or something. Everything, knowing what everything is ChatGPT. Now, you only want to utilize it for finance. So do you really want to know how a car works or what space does or string theory is or quantum physics? No, it's there. But you need to necessarily know that because it actually can mess up if you put in the wrong prompts, the output that you want to get. So there again, there's a new architect position, which is called prompt engineering, of how to actually not pinpoint, but to be more accurate for the output that you want to get, prompting your GPT model. Now, GPT is made by OpenAI. They have they have their algorithms. They know, and that's why they're in OpenAI. They know how they did it, right? And that's good. Now, there's other models. Did you know that there's something called Da Vinci, which is a way smarter model than ChatGPT? But there's many other models out there. There's Ada, there's Da Vinci, there's so many different ones out there that's more sophisticated, or maybe not more sophisticated, but categorizes it or serves to a better industry. For example, maybe Ada is a fast processing model that customer service people can use to get their answer that they want, that doesn't need so much sophistication or calculations, right? Why would you pay for a model that does that? Now, you pay for models through tokenization. And tokenization is the amount of responses that you'll get back, and that's a whole different subject, but that's how it works. But there are smarter models in ChatGPT. OpenAI has ChatGPT 4 and all that kind of stuff, but DaVinci is probably still the number one. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe they came up with something else yesterday or something, but that's definitely one. But it's more expensive to utilize if you're putting that in your code or developing your own fine-tuned model, what they call fine-tuned modeling. So that's making basically a ChatGPT for your own organization, that the information will not go out anywhere but only your organization. Kind of like SharePoint. If you use SharePoint as your work, do you trust it? Yes, you do. You trust it because you know the information is not going to be leaked, and you trust it because of Microsoft security.
So Christian, so John Q. Public, Jane Q. Public, what's your recommendation? Is that they download the ChatGPT app and they just start playing with it? Like, it may not be for professional reasons or anything. Like, what's their best introduction to?
So you can go to OpenAI and download the free version. The free version is $20 USD. You get plugins and it gets so much more sophistication. It's way better. It's so worth it. It's definitely worth the $20. But if you want to play around, you get a free version. I mean, if you don't pay the $20, I think you're limited to so many prompts with the 3.5 version. But anyways, what you'll get is a good understanding of how it actually works for you, and to see if you like it, and maybe you want to pay for the more expensive fee, which is $20 more, and you get unlimited 3.5 usage and a cap out of ChatGPT 4. But that was probably one of the better ways to understand. Now there's an application, there's a ChatGPT free mobile application you could use. I like it, but I prefer something called POE. It's POE. And if you download POE, it gives you all the different major learning language models out there, and you can actually compare it. So you can use Llama, you could use Claude 2, you can use ChatGPT 4, 3.5, all these kind of things. You can actually test it out. It's free. It's POE. I think you have to pay a fee some. I'm not sure. Honestly, I haven't used it for a while, but there might be a fee and I might not. Honestly, I don't know. But all I know is that the POE app is really, really cool. And the ChatGPT app is not bad either, but the POE allows you to compare with other major models out there in the future. So what people want to know is definitely maybe taking a course. There isn't so much. It's just kind of like my courses in my book, all that kind of stuff in prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is definitely a way to get around garbage in, garbage out, right? You put awesome information in, you'll get awesome information out. And key thing is knowing how to prompt it for your specific industry. Like I said, programmers, project managers, lawyers, marketers will prompt differently.
Yeah.
Focus specifically on project management, but gives you a good general outlook on every industry. But if you wanted to be really specific in other industries over project management or business analysis, then you'd have to go to research something else or see how their prompts.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for
I'm
that.
sure I could figure it out, but
Yeah. Thank you for that, Christian. So we've been talking to author of the AI driven project management, harnessing the power of artificial intelligence and ChatGPT to achieve peak productivity and success. I want one more question before he goes. I'm just wondering, what does a guy like you, do you have any good tech toys? What's your favorite tech toys coming out these days? Are what's your pastime in terms of utilizing any kind of cool technology?
Well, I haven't bought it yet, but I do want to buy it. It's quite expensive, but the Apple Vision.
Oh yeah.
The new augmented reality, like the Oculus. I think it's supposed to be. I'm not sure, but yeah, something like that. It's great. I think it's like $5,000 or something.
Yeah, 30. Oh, in Canada, that must be Canada prices. They're 3,500 over here in the U.S.
Well, we'll send you one, man.
If we get one. John, any thoughts before you go?
No, Chris, I am really impressed at your insight and knowledge into this. I mean, because like I said, the conversation that always seems to get down to my demographic is the boogeyman's coming. And, and it's not so much that it's the boogeyman that's coming, is more that what's coming is an aid. and a system of support that you can tap in that can basically expand your dimensions more so than inhibit it in any kind of way. But do you have a cautionary reality about AI, Christian? Kristen, I mean, are you just going into it wholeheartedly and just say, let me throw both feet into this with the wind, and there ain't no cautions that I have in my door, or do you have one?
There's a lot of dangers with AI, and it can't control it. You can't control it. I mean, take that back. That's it. What you do when you're developing models, like if your own organization, you have to follow ethics, regulations, and whatnot. But when I speak about the world, on what drones are doing today, and I'm sure you know about drones going in different countries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to stop that I think, is through your government and your prime minister, president, through regulations. And I don't have that power. Nobody has that. Well, some civilization really doesn't. It's more governance, right? But if we're going to put massive regulations on it, it could be in the hands of a very bad adversary, an extremely dangerous adversary. And that can only be controlled from governance, which will have to be through the country, because it can absolutely be very dangerous.
Well, on that note.
Yeah.
To civilization.
Yeah. Well, and like I
And
said, it's in the hands
I'm
of
the
the creator. They're trying to weaponize everything. It's just a question of who gets their hands on it. But hey, man, listen, I do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on to this podcast with us and give us some insight. Ms. Aberson, do you have anything to say before you take us out?
Thank you so much, Christian, for joining us. Thank you for writing this book. And we can find your book on Amazon and any other platforms. You've got a website you want to share with the people before we go?
No, you just type in Kristen Bainey book and you'll find it somewhere.
Kristen Bainey, AI-driven project management. Harnessing the power of artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, to achieve peak productivity and success. And man, I'm so impressed at how the NFL is using it today. As far as injuries and all that kind of stuff. But hey, Kristen, look, man, next time we come back at you again, we'll be a little bit more insightful about this. Hopefully we'll be down the road and you can help us go the rest of the way. And we appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day. You hear?
Thank you for having me. It was very enjoyable, and I really appreciate the talk. And thanks again. It was very nice to have me on there. Thank you.